Hey, how's it going? It's about 9:15 in the morning. I'm in Ekkamai, and we got a little political advertising going on. This is a look up busy Soi 42, I believe, one of the main drags here in Ekkamai. The other being Soi 63, directly on the other side. Those are two busy streets with condos and restaurants. 63 with the Ekkamai Beer House. That's probably the #1 busy street. There's a couple of big nightclubs down there. But I'm going to check the side streets. I think I'm going to go to Soi 59. Check out the little residential areas here in Ekkamai. It's a great part of town. I'm not really sure why, but Soi 42, again, it's 9:15 in the morning. It'll be like this at 1 in the afternoon. And of course, it's going to be like this at rush hour. So come out and check out the streets you're interested in. You might think it's no big deal, but unless you're going to sit on the back of a motor taxi, this is what your taxi has to deal with to get to Sukhumvit. And right at the base of BTS Ekkamai is the Bangkok bus terminal, Eastern, or just Ekkamai bus. You can take $2.60 one-way rides to Pattaya on a nice Greyhound large style bus, air conditioned. It's a really good deal. And right across the way is Soi 63. Again, this is probably the heart of Ekkamai. I think I said we were going to go look at 59. We're going to go to the first street, which is, I believe, Soi 61. Now, this building has a nice double-decker gym, and there, right behind it, is a Tops Market. So if you're going to live on 63 or 59, it's good to know where your closest supermarket is, Tops. I've said it in a few other videos, but it's worth repeating. If you see that Toyota minivan, personally, I avoid those because, man, those guys, of course, they're in business to make money, so they'll pack 10, 12, 14 people in one of those things. That might be an exaggeration, but not much. And they expect you, if you're carrying a 20-pound backpack, to just, put that on your lap for the 2.5-hour ride to Pattaya. What you want to do is enter the bus station, and let me see if I can get a shot of it. You can see the very first window, there's a line of 10 people. That's because that's the best bus. That's the government bus, where these are private corporations, I guess. So the government bus is a large size, nice bus where they sell you a ticket, your seat 2, 17, whatever. The only problem is it's popular because it's under $3 one way. But these people waiting in line, it's 9:15. Not so much at 9:15, but on a Friday afternoon, you might walk up at 2 in the afternoon and you can't get on the bus until 10 to 3 because the buses leave, I think, every 15 minutes, but there might be 3, 4 sold out buses. Not so much in the middle of the day, that's the time to go. But as you're standing there, the mini bus guys are hollering at you, hey, we're ready to go. As a matter of fact, when their bus departs, they usually sit over here waiting for another 5-10 minutes just in case they can get one more customer to come running in there. So if you're pressed for time, take the minibus, but you'll probably do it once. Loud motorcycle. You'll probably do it once, and next time you'll wait for the larger bus. A pro tip is when you get to Pattaya, you can probably even do it here, although I never have, you can buy a ticket for the next day. So I guess if you're in the area today, it's Wednesday, 9:30 in the morning, wander in there and say, hey, sell me a ticket for Thursday or Friday. That's when it's really busy. The Friday 5 p.m. bus, get a prepaid ticket. You still have to wait in that line, but then when you get up to the head of the line, they just see your name on a list and give you a ticket on what is likely to be the sold out bus. Famous YouTuber Mark Wiens, he's more a food blogger based here in Bangkok. That's his restaurant, Pet Mark, right at the, almost in the parking lot, it is the parking lot of the Ekkamai bus station. There you go, every Wednesday's discount day here at the skating rink, 250 baht, 2 hours. But the normal price is 300 baht, so that's not bad either. Oh, it does feel great in here. And here's the competition rink. Young lady doing her lesson. And then over here they have dedicated hockey rink. All the coach profiles on the wall. And here's the hockey rink. Future of Thailand on the ice. Nice little facility. I don't know anything about the price of nails, but I've had girlfriends and wives in the past complaining about the high cost. So there's a peak, regular polish, 200, 200, 300, whatever that means. Gel polish, 450, 450, 800 baht. I do know there's all kinds of evening markets where they're doing nails outside, just a string of ladies, 20 long, doing nails. So I'm sure that's a cheaper option. Here's a wine shop, Core Wine. Coming up to Soi 61 is the major Cineplex. It's basically just a 3 or 4 story shopping mall. There's a McDonald's, a Sizzler, different fast foods, Thai food. But the major Cineplex is a pretty nice movie theater. I think there's 4 screens, I think, up there. It's not quite as fancy as Siam Paragon or some of the real fancy movie theaters, but it's just as nice as anything in the United States, and it comes at an affordable price. I think on Tuesday, Wednesday, something like that, it's even cheaper. But major Cineplex, you want to see movies in the Ekkamai area. It also has a bowling alley. This what is it called, Block Bowl or something. It's kind of it's a little loud, which is fine with me, you know, but that's the vibe. It's that rock and roll bowling, laser bowling kind of thing. And I kind of go on and on about Sizzler over here in Thailand, maybe because it's part of my childhood. I mean, on Dad's payday, every now and then we'd hit the Sizzler for the all-you-can-eat steak and shrimp, or just the shrimp. And it wasn't the best food. There was just a lot of it, and it was fun. But over here, it's you can see how the motorbikes there get a little creative, swerving in and out of traffic. And oftentimes in a motor taxi situation, you're sitting on the back. So just don't let that put you off. If when you go to order a car, a motor taxi's 30 baht and a taxi's 90, you're gonna kind of get what you pay for. I don't mind riding the motor taxis, but just be advised, it's not as crazy as Vietnam, but it can get a little chaotic over here. But anyhow, the Sizzler's not bad over here, and I'll admit that's kind of my go-to feeling homesick food. Not that I feel homesick that often, but I don't hit McDonald's. I hate McDonald's over here, really. But I will go in that Sizzler once every couple of months to get a little steak and salad bar. And we arrived at Soi 61, Ekkamai. So let's wander up the street, see what it has to offer. And these are the motor taxi drivers. They wear the orange vest. And Grab and Robin Hood. These are Panda. These are all food delivery guys. So they're hanging out here at this at the movie mall to pick up that food and rush it off to people for, most of the time, 50 cents, cheap. Sometimes delivery is free. I always put a little tip on there, but that's up to you. It's a little too easy to get food 24 hours a day in Bangkok. So here's the Lodge 61. My friend lives on this Soi, and he was telling me that it's more low-rise buildings. Big street of, you know, smaller buildings. If you want to stay in them big high-rises, you need to go over to Soi 63, but it's gonna come at a cost. Ekkamai, I'll say Thong Lor is probably the most expensive area off of Sukhumvit, and Ekkamai is a close second, but you can find an expensive apartment anywhere in Bangkok. Here's the tire store. Cool little mini bike in the window. Looks like a Honda Mini Trail. And not far off Sukhumvit is the Melting Clock, Italian restaurant. And then we have this building, I think it's called the Mode, Sukhumvit 61. Look like larger size units. This isn't bad. You're very close to the train. Mode 61. And across the street, it looks like a kitchen supply store. The Stainless Steel Company. Sukhumvit Soi, authentic Thai restaurant. And I kind of know this area from being on the other street. There's a I think it's called Max Value Market right here. So this is nice. You have a Max Value and a Tops within a block. Max Value is okay. I prefer Tops, but if you were to live right here, it's nice to have a, I'll call it a mini grocery store, but it'll have everything you need. And there's Soi 61, so you can use this shopping center parking lot to get over to the popular Soi 63. Here's the Max Value. I'll give you a peek inside. They have everything. Bakery, little coffee bar, milk, beer. Also all the fresh items. I've been in here before. They'll have meats and fish if you like to cook. Good little store, Max Value. You can only buy booze from 11 to 2 and 5 to midnight. You can buy it in a bar at any time, but in grocery stores, 7-Eleven, they have some restriction. In this Max Value shopping center is a bunch of luxury things like the Mad Watch. Again, Ekkamai, there's a lot of money happening over here. If it isn't from rich Thais, there's a lot of Japanese and Korean business people that love this area, Tonglor and Ekkamai. And 61's over here, the Max Value is right there. We just cut through this parking lot, and this is the thoroughfare of Soi 63. You'll find everything there. Here's a fancy French place, Le Paris. And this, it's all closed up, is Maisie, but it's always packed, and it's a wood-fired pizza. So this is a really nice, I'll call it upscale area, although there are many upscale areas in Bangkok. The nice thing about Bangkok is, unlike if you have, say, a Beverly Hills zip code, you're not going to find, even in a beat-up old ugly building, it's still going to be $4,000 a month for a little studio apartment. Where here in Bangkok, you can be in the most expensive part of town, maybe even in the same building where the top floors are $3,000 a month. You might still get a $600, maybe a little bit more, apartment down on the lower floors. So the bottom line is go look in the area you want to live in, even if it's Tong Lo and you're like, there's no way I could afford to live there on my whatever, you know, $2,500 a month pension, but you probably can. You just have to adjust your apartment and all these kinds of things accordingly. You might not be able to get up on the top floors, but you might be able to get on the 5th or 6th floor. Oftentimes you can get an affordable deal. It's all about how high you are in the building oftentimes. So we left the shopping center, we're back on 61, and I don't see the name of this building. It's all kind of in Latin scrawl there. It looks like Stella. Now this is an example of a really cool building. You'll be looking at these units and you know, saying to yourself, this is twice as much room for the exact rent I'm paying, or $50 more a month. Not in all cases, but in many. And I just pointed out the address there on 61. And I'm not sure what this is. Milan? I'm assuming it's some kind of spa. Yeah, it looks like a day clinic or something I don't know anything about. Just to get a handle where we are, you can see Sukhumvit, not even 2 blocks down, and the Ekamai BTS is not even a half a block to the left. The Max Value is right there in Soi 63. And it looks like a little string of, I don't know what they are, coffee shops or something on the right here. Some private homes. The Silva, is that what that says? Silva building? Well, this says Greenery Place. Maybe they're right next to one another. Yeah, that's the Silva building, Greenery Place. I'll walk back there. Looks like the guard's out making his rounds. Yeah, there's another guard back here. There's no shortage of guards at any of these buildings. Bangkok's very, very safe anyhow, but It's still nice to have that guard on duty. Here's the greenery place building. I'm impressed. First impressions, really impressed with this street. Checks off all the boxes. Close to the BTS, close to the supermarket. Kind of a nice mellow street. Hey, I'm all about partying. I'm out 5 nights a week meeting people, and sometimes more than 5 nights a week. But I don't necessarily need a string of loud bars thumping music right outside my window. My buddy told me about this place, El Tapas, I think it is. Assuming it's a tapas restaurant. I'm not sure if it's here. It might be tucked up that alley. But you got some Spanish food in the area. And this is the Counting Sheep Corner. You understand where Ekkamai is, that's Sukhumvit, so Ekkamai BTS. The next stop is going to be Thong Lor, which is the high society district of Bangkok. That's some of the most expensive real estate. Then next to Thong Lor is Prom Pong, probably my favorite area here in Bangkok. It's an equal mix of bars and restaurants and partying and some quiet little side sois. Next to Prom Pong is the crazy Asok and Soi Cowboy, although there are some beautiful apartments, very expensive in Asok. That would be the quote-unquote Times Square of Bangkok. And in between Asok and Nana, not my first recommendation to live. Go stay there for a month if you're just going to be partying every night. But that is the Las Vegas Strip. And that's where Ekkamai sizes up on the map. Oh, I did leave out, if you go in the other direction, Prakanong. I've lived there in Airbnbs. Mellow area, not a lot going on, but oftentimes affordable. The W District is there, it's fun. And then the next stop is busy on Newt. Tons of condos, has a reputation for being affordable because it really was 10 years ago, even 5 years ago. Today, that's almost considered the center of Bangkok now. The train used to end there and on Newt. Now when the train pulls up, 50, 100 people get off and on. It's a busy area. But it's also popular with the 2 grocery stores, the Big C and the Lotus, within 2 blocks of each other and the BTS. So on Newt's fun, and it's not very far from anywhere in town. Here's Loam Cafe Home Fashion. Looks like an interior decorator kind of store. And the Kim Yong Grill. Which I'll assume is Korean food. Tucked away back here. Looks like a little business complex. Visa Work Permit Company. The Thrive Together business building. And across the street, the Quaint building, which it looks like a restaurant. I'm not sure. It's not even 10 in the morning, so it's hard to figure some of those things out. And here's a rice mill business. These are cool, just some private homes. Across from the Socio 61. Socio Reference. Look a little smaller, but that might come at an affordable rate. The Residence at 61 with Plentiful. I guess it's a vegetarian restaurant down below. And across the way it says something outlet. I think this is, I see a bunch of furniture here. I think this is some kind of furniture store that kind of goes through to 63 and pours back here. Just takes up the whole block. We're now 4, maybe 5 small blocks from Sukhumvit. I like to stay a comfortable distance from the train. 6, 7 blocks is kind of pushing it when there's just so many choices within 3 blocks of a train. But if you get a good deal on a building tucked away 7, 8 blocks back here, as long as you understand you're going to be walking in the heat. Right now it's 10 in the morning and it's easily 100 degrees. So just understand what you're up against when you're picking a building way at the end of this soi just to save 50, 60, even $100 a month. That's where I'll draw the line. I'll pay $100 for convenience. When it's $200 more, yeah, maybe I'll walk 3 more blocks. But those are all personal decisions. You know how you like to live. If you're a home person, well, yeah, put your money into a big, beautiful home. Your money will just go so much further over here in Bangkok. And that was the nice 61. And across the way, the M Villa building. And I'm sure most of these buildings have at least a small pool. That's almost a prerequisite for a nice apartment in Bangkok. Large pool is nice, but small pool will at least cool you off. And here's the Bangkok on 61. And if I'm not mistaken, I think I've been on the next Soi 59, and there's a Bangkok on 59. They're probably attached. Looks like they're building the S61 over here. Hi. And I was just talking to a nice lady about the neighborhood. She says she loves it. Close to everything, close to the train. Here's the Regent on the part 2. Now this is a beautiful building. Let me get a better shot. It's tucked away in the trees. She told me the Soi is because she likes to walk up and down it, is 1 kilometer from Sukhumvit to the end. So again, if you want to walk, that doesn't sound like a big deal, but when you're walking your 1 kilometer in the pouring rain or the crazy heat, you're going to walk by 20 buildings. So I'll leave that up to you. I'm in fairly decent shape, and I'm out walking in the heat of the day for 2-3 hours most days, filming these little videos, having a little fun. But that's my choice. That's not me in a work shirt having to do it. That would be a little more brutal, I think. Here's the, ooh, how do you say this? Onda? Ooh, this is nice. Old school, like brick building. Kind of tucked away, even off the street. That's beautiful. And across the way, we have the Lil Cat Makeup Studio. So if your cat needs makeup. And this is probably as far down as I would go. Yeah, we're like 5, maybe 6 blocks to the train. I'll keep going just because I'm curious as to what's down there. But all these buildings we just passed, and I say it over and over, I hate to sound like a broken record, but there's just no reason to go back here. I mean, it's not going to be half the price. It's going to be the same price. And you can see these incredible buildings. They're probably on Soi 63. I think the street kind of bends around. But yeah, that's even a studio in there is going to be crazy, crazy money because of that beautiful architecture. But if that's where you want to live, hey, do your thing. And some beautiful private homes. I'll call them compounds. I mean, look at the size of this guy's property. And this one's pretty big as well. Just some private homes for the next, I guess we'll call this 1 block. And then we'll see if there's some smaller buildings on the left over here. Now, of course, you can get a motor taxi to roar you up the street for 20 baht. 20 baht's no big deal, but that's going to add up if you do it twice a day, 20 times a month. The problem with the motorbikes is, so don't let some realtor, if you're tucked away way back here, say, oh yeah, you know, you're 8 blocks from the train, but hey, everybody takes a motorbike or the private shuttle. First off, those shuttles are small. They only hold like 8 people. And I've walked by many condos out walking around at 7, 8 in the morning where there's just a line of people waiting for the shuttle. So they'll stand there 20 minutes, I'd guess, because it's usually 1 shuttle. So it's going to take 15, 20 minutes to go round trip to the BTS. We say no to worse traffic and damage to our community. The Soi 61 against big condos. Okay. So maybe that's why everything's only 6 stories high. I guess it would stand to reason if you owned one of these homes, you want a 6-story unit here instead of a 48-story unit. Traffic-wise, that's just less people. Here's a surprise tucked away back here at the very end is the Consulate of Monaco. Consulates, sounds like some military helicopters. You don't don't get, for a large city, you don't get a lot of helicopter traffic. Oftentimes, rich people in places like, look at that, it's beautiful. Got the, I guess that's the flag from Monaco. You don't get a lot of private helicopter traffic. A city like Sao Paulo or any large city, New York, whatever, there's helicopters just roaring from one rooftop to another. The Milliard boutique apartments. This is beautiful. That is really nice. Need to touch up the flags. Other than that, hey, I like that building a lot. I'm sure it's going to come at a price because it's still very close to Soi 63. Although that lady told me there's no real shortcuts. She said to get to 63, that value market is the only shortcut, and that only saves you 2 blocks. Because I asked her, I said, is there a way to go through the Milliard parking lot and pop out on 63? And she said no. Back here at the end is the Reserve 61 hideaway back here, and the Reserve Tower. I don't know, is there 2? I don't know, it says 1 going each way. They look like 6-story units. And I am at the end of the street, so I'll time it. It's 10:20. I'm not going to go to the left to the BTS, but I'll walk to Sukhumvit. So it took me 13, maybe 14 minutes to walk from the end of the Soi back to the ice skating rink, and then you just go up 1 floor and you're on the skywalk, BTS Ekkamai. So not a bad walk, even all the way at the end of the Soi. Might be worth it if you find a beautiful place down there you like. That's Ekkamai, Soi 61. Hey, if you like these looks around Bangkok and getting out exploring with me, I've never been back here. And this is half exercise and just half having a little fun. Consider subscribing my little channel. I'd really appreciate it. Take it easy.